Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am your Ice Dragon Rayrun VR, and today we're going to be designing some more modulars for the Icey Railway. And today we're going to be kind of building our preliminary yard that I've been so desperately needing. And so we're going to go ahead and start making what I'm going to call Kirby yard. This is for the Kirby yard here that's in San Antonio, Texas, and it's not going to be an accurate representation of the yard. It's just basically going to be, a yard that, I'm going to give it a name so that way you guys can identify the modular and so forth. But it's not going to be a one-to-one prototypical redesign of Kirby, but we're just going to go ahead and make it. So with that, we're going to start with our normal height and width here. So the width is going to be 12 inches. We're going to do 36, and then we're going to add the rectangle, and we're going to go from there. So go ahead and add our rectangle. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make 3 modulars. Now, 2 of them are going to be almost exactly the same. The other one is going to be kind of our funnel point. It's basically need to go from a 1 to a 5 configuration. I'm going to see if I'm going to be able to actually do that. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can do it. So we're going to go ahead and rotate this bad boy 90 degrees as well. And then we'll just lock it into place. And then let's go ahead and start making our baseline stuff here. So let's go ahead and I need to insert a line here. So let's add our line. I also want to add some rulers. Let me just make sure that this is right on this line here. Let's see. Let's go ahead. And let's just do that. There we go. Okay. Let's add a few rulers now that we're going to need. So this one, let's just go ahead and rotate 90. And then I'm going to also need to shorten this down. The length is going to be 6 inches because I need my halfway mark, which is what I'm going to make right now. You know what? Let me just bring this in a little bit. Again, we'll get to as best as we can get it here. Grab my ruler here. There we go. And then let's go ahead and insert our basically center line here. Oops. That is not what I wanted to do. Get this back to 6 inches. Insert, add line. And then again, we'll just kind of eyeball it. And again, we'll just eyeball it a little bit. Okay. So we have that. Just raise this up just a tad here. Again, kind of the OCD taking over. Alright, close enough. So now that we have our center line, I want to change this line color to a red. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and what I'm going to do now is get rid of this. I'll just move this one aside because I may need that later. And then we're going to take this center line along with this, copy paste, and we're going to make 2 other modulars as well. So Kirby yard is going to be for now a 3 modular design. I would like to make it a 4th with the opposite side kind of mirroring it, so it goes from 1 to 5 and then back to 5 to 1. But for now, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to do 3 modulars because that's how much that I can space wise have when it comes to the closet that we're going to put this yard into. Actually, what I probably want to do is I'll get rid of that because I'll do something a little bit different with that one. Okay, I'm gonna stick with my Pico because I love my Pico track. And let's go ahead and grab some switches. So I usually do number 5s. Go ahead and rotate this 180. And so this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull this off. And that's why I like using Anyrail to see, because in my mind and on paper it's like, oh right, this is going to work nicely, and then when I actually get to reality of just how much space I actually need, it doesn't work. And so yeah, so as you can see here, it's going to be kind of tight. My plan is I'll put like some sort of barrier wall on the sides here, like a facade is probably what I'm thinking about doing. And we'll just snap these on like this. And so this is where I really wanted to see if I can go from 1 to 5 within a 12-inch radius. It's going to be tight, no doubt about it. And so that's why I'm kind of playing around with things to see if this is possible. And for now, it is. So we'll see. We'll see. There's going to be a lot crammed in here. Obviously, I got to think about where my torus switch machines are going to be. I got to think about how the wiring is going to be, and so forth. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Do I need to go one more out here? Yeah, see, this one's going to be really tight. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, see, this is where my concern was going to be. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do what I needed to do, because I don't, typically it's frowned upon to actually have the turnout on the edge of a connecting rail, but I think for now it's hashtag my modular, so we'll go ahead and, again, this is inspired by FREEMO design, not necessarily follows all the rules of FREEMO, but again, we'll do the best that we can. So I need a 1-inch ruler here. I know it's kind of small, but this gives me an idea of how much space I have to play with where those joiners need to be, because I do need to leave at least a 1-inch gap there. So I'm just going to grab all these, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do the unthinkable here. And we're going to go ahead and get it to that 1-inch spot there. Try to get it centered as best we can. So it gives me the max amount of space for this particular modular, and that's kind of why I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And then let's add our last turnout here. Okay, so even with all that space, it is tight, like absurdly. So let's go ahead and grab some more flex track here. I'm going to go ahead and do this, just so I can get a basic understanding. And then we're going to go ahead and, again, I need some more rulers. So I'm just going to copy. I'm going to rotate this 90 and then back down to 1 inch, just to give me that idea of where my rail joiners are going to be. So that way I can come in here. And again, rough estimate, we're going to cut flex here. We need to disconnect this flex, and then we're going to disconnect that. So this gives me a little bit more idea of what I'm playing with here. And then we'll try to get that lined up as best as we can. All right. And then, let's see. Yeah, this is where things get kind of out of control. Tell you what, let's move that so we can get that. And then try this again. Take this ruler down to 1 inch, and then we'll try to line that up, and I'll probably just leave it there so that way I can get some references. Okay, so now kind of my next big concerns. Let's go ahead and add some more flex track here. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead, again, we need that 1 inch cutoff, so let's go ahead and we'll cut it right here, cut flex here, disconnect, and nuke it. Let's go ahead and add a couple more. Again, we will cut it right here, disconnect, and make that cut. Again, I'm just going to try to get that spacing as best as I can. Okay, let's grab some more flex. And go right there. Let's cut it right here. And disconnect. Okay, and then our last piece of flex track goes in. And then this is where things are going to get kind of interesting. So, okay. I'll tell you what, let's make this easy on ourselves and just cut it here. Disconnect. We'll delete that bit. And then now we got to try to curve it into here. So we got 22, 21 inch radius, 26, 25. So the best we're going to get is a 26. And I don't know if I can smooth this out a little bit. Smooth flex. Still 21. Yeah, it's a little tough. 29. So 29 was like our max that we can get down there. So now I'm getting back to 18, 24, 26, 27, 29. Okay. Close enough. Close enough. Now, as you can see, this is where things get a little bit tight. So let's see what we can do here. Let's grab our flex. So it looks like this will be a little bit easier here. So cut flex and disconnect. And we'll cut that. Now, what I am kind of concerned about is what's the length of this flex. So this is about what? About half an inch worth of flex. Because I'm just thinking about this, like, will that be practical? I really have to nail this piece of flex down. So again, just something to think about when we're designing this. And then what really is going to get interesting is this little piece right here. What I'm really concerned about is it's going to be practical. Let's go ahead and cut flex here. Disconnect. Delete that half. Okay, so now we got to play with this. Yeah, no, I'm going to get a lot of red here. So this one kind of concerns me. Let me see if I can get this smoothed out. Smooth flex. Yeah, it's just, ooh. That one's going to be tight. I think we can manage it. I think this one's going to need a little love when we actually go full scale. But yeah, that one's going to be a little tricky, I will have to admit. Because, yeah, we'll have to try to get that as even as possible. Yeah, it's definitely a little tricky. But, again, for the sake of what I'm doing, I think I can do that a little bit smoother when I actually go to lay the track down. So, at least this gives me a hope that, you know, another thing I could do too is go to a number 4. I could. But I got to keep in mind that this yard's got to handle some of my bigger engines like the turbines, my 9000s, big boys, and so forth. So I will leave it as such for now and see what happens. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, if this doesn't work when I go to put things together, then I'll fix it. Or probably just end up getting rid of this or put number 4 in there. So we'll see. We'll have to play that one by ear. All right, and so basically the other 2 pieces are going to be basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, I was actually able to fit a whole bunch in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, we got 7. So 1. Let's put number 2. I'm just going to quickly eyeball this. 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. 6. and 7. Okay. Now eventually I'll line all this up and everything, but you know, that's why this gets a little bit crazy with the projects that I do. Okay, we're going to control, and then we control paste, and now you see why I kind of waited. So basically that is our Kirby yard. So it'll go from a, looks like I was able to actually squeeze a 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, so 7. Yep. So we went from a 1 to a 7. Is it going to be practical? I don't know. We'll have to build it and see what happens, because that's what we do on this railway. We just build and see what happens. Again, I'll obviously have the facades on the sides here, so that way if we have a derailment, the train won't go off the side. So that's pretty much the kind of the concept there for Kirby Yard. And yeah, we'll just call it there and then see what happens. So with the guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.